What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So now the conversation starts to come. What is next for Errol Spence Jr.? Um, Errol Spence Jr. should move up to 154. I know Errol's pride and his integrity as a fighter is going to make him want to get in there again and give it another shot against Terrence Crawford. I don't think they should do it. For one, people are not going to really buy that fight. They saw it was so lopsided the first time around. You can't convince people to come and buy it again and think something different going to happen, right? Especially because Errol Spence does not have one-shot knockout power like a Deontay Wilder. If he did, it would make the fight a little bit more interesting at a higher weight, but not at 154. Errol would be stronger, but so would Terrence Crawford. So I don't think that should be the move, and I don't think Al Heyman is going to sign off on it because it's not going to make no money. I don't think he's going to agree to it because it's just really not going to generate any bread like that. I don't think so, right? They didn't do as many. They were supposed to do at least 1 million buys. I think they did like 700, 800 buys. 800K, 700K, I think, right? It did less than Tank and Ryan Garcia, which is crazy because these were the two top welterweights. And I mean, these were two pound for pound fighters. Top 10 pound for pound fighters. So it should have sold more. But I think it's going to be the same result at 54, Errol versus Terrence Crawford. I think Errol should fight probably Sebastian Fundora next. You know, tall. Well, he ain't rangy because he fights up close. But yeah, get your confidence back. Fight a guy like Sebastian Fundora or Mendoza. Even though Mendoza can crack it. He's the one that knocked out Sebastian Fundora. But I think he should get his confidence back fighting a fight like that. And then maybe you move to what's the guy name they got Tim Tszyu. Maybe you move to Tim Tszyu. Especially if Jermell is not going to come back to 154 after his fight against Canelo Alvarez. He might go to 160, who knows? But if Jermell don't come back to 54, try your luck with Tim Tszyu and see what goes on. You know what I mean? I think Errol could beat Tim Tszyu. Truthfully. Now, again, that Errol Spence looked like a shell of himself and something that we have never seen from Errol Spence Jr. But I think Errol is seeing the memes and the jokes on social media. He's seeing people cracking jokes on him. And he saw Minister Louis Farrakhan, a guy who Errol Spence Jr. really, really respects, talking about how sometimes a whooping can make you. Somebody was saying that how he praying for Errol Spence Jr. after that whooping, and people in the mosque was laughing. You know, Errol Spence got Khalid Muhammad tattooed on him. He used to post Minister Louis Farrakhan's teaching. So you got Farrakhan cracking jokes on you. He's seeing all that. He's like, okay, cool. He's going to come back and he's going to be motivated more than ever. And I think we're going to get the old Errol Spence Jr. back. And I think hopefully, not just the old Errol Spence, he needs to work on some new tricks. Work on some new game plan for fighting individuals who may have, well, nobody got the skill set that Terrence Crawford got. Nobody, right? But add it to your arsenal to be able to just be a guy who can fight different styles. But truth be told, Errol Spence can beat a lot of individuals with the style that he has currently, right? But yeah, I think he'll beat Sebastian Fundora. I think he'll beat Tim Tszyu. Keith Thurman may move up to 54. I don't know. He might move up to 54. Or unless he's going to fight Boots at 47. I don't know. But if Keith moves up to 54, Errol, fight Keith. Right now, Keith will present a different look for Errol. You know, a guy that's athletic, quick hands, got great movement. But I still think Errol Spence will beat Keith Thurman. Some people don't believe that after seeing what happened last Saturday. But I believe Errol Spence will. And the reason why is that Keith Thurman is still susceptible to the body. I think body shots still hurt Keith in a major way. That's a big part of Errol Spence's game. And if you would have hit him with some of them body shots he hit Bud with, I think that you would see Keith Thurman react to it. And once Errol Spence Jr. sees you reacting, he's going to go for blood like a shark smell blood in water. And he's going to feast on that. So Keith is going to provide great movement. He's going to provide some great counterpunching as well that Errol Spence has got to be aware of. But I still think Errol would stop Keith. I just think eventually that he's going to be able to get inside his inside game. And Keith don't really like fighting on the inside like that. not against a guy who likes body punches. So I still think as much as greatly skilled that Keith Thurman is, he's a greatly skilled fighter. And I think he, as much as he poses a different look for Errol Spence, I think Errol would still be able to get him out of there, right? But I still would want to see that fight, especially now. You know, seeing how Errol Spence will bounce back after a devastating defeat like that. I think, yeah, go to 54, and I think he can have success at 54, a lot of success. Again, I think he'll be stronger at 54. I think he'll punch a little harder there too, because once you're not getting down, draining yourself so low, you maintain a little bit more strength. And I know 47 to 54 is not a whole lot of weight, but it makes a difference in boxing. Even at 160, Errol might be a lot stronger than he is, for real. He might hit a lot harder at 160. So, yeah, I think he can have success going forward. You got people saying he should retire. Now, the beating that he took was devastating. But, you know, and I saw people was like, you know, how he was talking before the fight. And I don't know, I seen Errol talk like that after he beat Danny Garcia. In a post-fight interview, you wouldn't see his face, but I forgot who he was talking to. One of these Yahoo Sports people or something like that. I don't know if it was Kevin Iole or somebody, maybe. But he sounded like he was going through some type, I don't know, like he had like somebody punched him in the face or something, or his jaw the way he was talking before. So, you know, it did look a little funny before the fight. He did look whatever, but I think he can get back to at least where he was when he fought Yordenis Ugas, when he fought Danny Garcia, for sure. And I think that Errol Spence is good enough to beat a lot of the guys at 54. I really do. So I don't think all is lost. You know, you got Stephen A. Smith saying that Errol Spence should retire. I don't think he should go that far. That was one loss. First time he ever lost and ever looked like that. Now, if he looks like that again, then it's very telling. Then we got to have another conversation, right? But if he looks like that again against somebody not named Terrence Crawford, at least, you know. But yeah, man. I mean, even if he take a beat down like that from Terrence Crawford again, it'd be like, man, yo. But I don't know, because I seen Deontay Wilder get beaten, take heavy shots from Tyson Fury in back-to-back fights. Now, they were a year apart from each other. Was it a year? No, it was a little over. Was it? No, about a little over a year. It was over a year, right? So, but I seen him take some shots like that from Tyson Fury, and then came back and stopped his former sparring partner, Robert Helenius, in the first round. Now, like I said, Deontay Wilder got heavy punching power, and power is the last thing to leave a fighter. But I think Errol Spence can still have success at 54 and still become a champion at 54. Especially if he's fighting guys like Brian Castano, what's who I just named? Sebastian Fundora, was it Brian Mendoza, I think his name is, Mendoza. He's fighting guys like Tim Tszyu. I think he can have success against individuals like that. And I think just his natural ability and his strength, his physicality, I don't think those guys have the ability to nullify his jab the way Terrence Crawford did. I don't think those guys have the reflexes Terrence Crawford has. I don't think they have the power, the power punching, nor the timing that Terrence Crawford has as well. So I think Errol Spence would be able to still be very successful at 54. Terrence Crawford possesses a ring generalship that cannot be found amongst other fighters fighting today, really. It's his shit is something different. And I think Errol Spence Jr. still is a great fighter and a great champion. So with him having the spirit of a champion, him having the type of resiliency that he has, and it's a good sign that he's not down in the dumps after the fight. Well, he doesn't appear to be. You know, we don't know that, but he doesn't appear to be from what he's posted on social media about his head being held up high, congratulating Terrence Crawford, basically saying he's a man of the old law. He don't make no excuses. The better man won that night, so on and so forth. With that being said, it looks like he's in good spirits. And if he keeps that mindset and tries to learn and adjust and continue to improve, I think he could be very successful, man. I don't think all is lost for Errol Spence Jr. after this defeat. I think he could bounce back, and I think he could become champion again at 54, right? Unless Terrence Crawford gets all of the belts in one fight in some type of way, I think he could become champion once again at 54 for sure, man. But I can't wait for the brother to get back in the ring to see what he has. And I'm waiting to see him prove a lot of the doubters wrong. You got people that looked at that fight and say Errol Spence Jr. can't fight at all. And Keith Thurman would beat him. He wouldn't be successful at 54. He wouldn't do much. And I know he's hearing that because Errol watches everything. He's admitted that. And he's talked about individuals. He's called out reporters who talk about him or switch sides. Like he called out Blue Blood Sports TV. He called out, what's the boy name? The boxing voice. What's his name? Is it Ness? Is this his name? Yeah, Ness. Called him out and so on and so forth. So, yeah, man, he pays attention to everything. So I think he'll use that as motivation to come back and come back better than ever. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.